Spider-Man 2, where, as you can see from the box, we have Peter Parker swinging in to save the day, to save Mary Jane, who is up here, from Doc Ock, or Dr. Octopus, who, with his 8 arms and legs, has started up a fusion reactor that is probably going to destroy the city. And so Spider-Man 2, or Peter Parker 2, has to swing in and save the day and drown the fusion reactor, as you might remember from the movie. Another character that they've included here is, I assume this is the son of J. Jonah Jameson. He's on a speedboat. He's just in the neighborhood, your friendly neighborhood. J. Jonah Jameson's son. He's just happy to be here. I don't remember him being in the movie, and well, certainly not this scene in the movie. I remember there is a scene in the movie where he is trying to get a kiss from Mary Jane, and it's not the same as when she kisses Spider-Man, but he definitely wasn't in the finale. I watched the film not that long ago. But yeah, that's the set we're going to be building. You can see here it says 8 to 12. You might be able to tell from my voice I'm a little bit older than 12. I think it's a bit of a shame they decided to put an age limit on this set, so maybe it's even illegal for me to be attempting this right now, but those are the things you do to bring you guys some tingles, right? Let's look at the rest of the box then. We've got the Spider-Man minifigure. We have Dr. Octopus there. Again, J. Jonah's son, the astronaut guy. Mary Jane. And also, lest we forget, Peter Parker there at the end. Apologies, I can't show the box to you in a more balanced fashion, but it's so big I can barely fit it into the frame. Let's take a look at the back now. So, here it comes. You've seen the scene here. We've got the interior of the fusion reactor warehouse where Doc Ock is going to be doing his thing. Spider-Man has made his way in to save him. It's pretty cool. You get a little web here. Looking forward to building that part. You've got the speedboat here, and you've also got this spider catapult thing, or spider bolt, I guess you could call it, where you basically can jettison Peter Parker into the action. And also they included a little imagination section up here where you can see some of the other things you could build with this set. They used to do that back when Lego really wanted kids to have an imagination. Now on most sets they don't tend to include any ideas for other sets, which is a little bit of a shame. So this set was released in, you guessed it, 2004, as it says here on the box, to coincide with the release of Spider-Man 2, the movie. Alright, so that was the box. Now let's get into the build. I'm just going to put the box to one side. There we go. Alright, so all the Lego is already out. The reason for that is this is yet another Lego set from my childhood that I dug out of my attic out of storage, and so I already built it when I was a young boy. I That means we don't have any of the bags, so unfortunately I couldn't do a true unboxing for you. But I think it would be pretty hard to obtain a Lego Spider-Man 2 set brand new at this point in time. This is a vintage, retired Lego set. So I'm just happy, to be honest, that we have this set. We're able to build with it. And luckily, I'm such a conscientious boy that I did leave one little bag inside the box. One little plastic bag with all the extra bits. You know how Lego gives you sometimes extra spare parts just to make sure that you have enough of everything. That's what is stored in this bag. And it's going to give us some nice crunchy, crinkly tingles. Just going to enjoy that for a second. Go rub it on the Lego. I think that was pretty good. I'm going to flip the bag over to one side now. And before we get started, we'll just have a very quick look at the Lego instruction manual for this set. Again, it's a pretty big instruction manual because this is a pretty big set. So we can see again the core scene is depicted on the front. Let's have a quick leaf through the instructions. It's quite hefty. Look at that. Over the years I think the pages have got a little bit yellow, or maybe they were always yellow. It's possible. We'll never know now. But the important thing is the complete instruction booklet is here. So just going to do some leafing through. Some papery tingles. Look at that. The final scene. This is what we're aiming for. This is what we're going to see at the end of the video. Obviously it's going to look a lot better because it'll be in real life. And there's some of the cool functionalities of the set. So you can actually lift the roof off, it looks like, from the warehouse, I guess, to make it easier to play with. That's pretty cool. And you can bring down the walls of the fusion reactor. Also, you can take apart the sides of the warehouse. You can kind of split it apart. I think the idea being is like the warehouse is collapsing as the scene progresses and the fusion reactor becomes more volatile. Oh, look, here we can see the progression of Peter Parker to Spider-Man and the way that Dr. Octopus's legs are opposable. You can bend them and he can grab stuff. Honestly, this is a pretty good set. I remember how excited I was to get this set as a young boy, and I spent a lot of time playing with it. It stayed up for a long time, but eventually, like all things, it had to be put away until the day it would be taken out again and built for the benefit of space is a little bit at a premium right now. And we will begin the build. Okay, so we're going to start off with the minifigures. And the first one up is Dr. Otto Octavius, otherwise known as Dr. Octopus. So he has a little grey thing to help his octopus back stay on, I guess, is what you would call it, his tentacle arms. Gonna put his little hair on there. See how cute he is. The camera lost focus for a minute. But I think you got the gist. So let's go on to the next figure. The next figure is Spider-Man, of course. So here we go with Spider-Man. Oops, I dropped his head and it nearly went on the floor. That would have been a shame. Okay, there he is. Spider-Man. Looking pretty good in his blue suit. I think this is a pretty nice minifigure, to be honest, of Spider-Man. One of the better ones I've seen. Next we have to build the Jameson guy who hangs around, the third wheel as we call him. Let's see, he's got a chiseled face, you know this because he has cheekbones on his minifigure. That means he's supposed to be handsome. There he is, look. However, I can't see right now his hair. I assume it is buried in amongst all this Lego. But I am aware that if I keep the Lego base plate, the blue base plate here underneath, it's going to make a lot of noise as we go through it, and it might not be very relaxing. So I'm going to very carefully remove it. It's going to make quite a big noise at the beginning. Kind of dingy one. And in the process of doing that, I just spotted his little hairpiece, so that's good. There we go. Some of the pieces of Lego actually stuck themselves to the base plate, which is quite funny. Alright, we'll just put the base plate to one side for now. And we'll give ourselves a little bit of room to work with. So, probably a little bit of it's going to go out of the frame, to be honest, because again, this is such a big set. It needs to be done. So Peter Parker has black trousers. Like that. He has a little... Nope, that's Mary Jane's head. Let's try a different head. This one is Peter Parker's head. And his little hair is coming here. And we just then have Mary Jane left to do. So, here she comes. Here she is. Mary Jane Watson. Not a bad minifigure, although, I don't know, I think they struggle to do women well in Lego sometimes. I guess it's the block-like figures it's a better likeness than some of the other figures I've seen. Yeah, like the Hermione figure, for example, in Lego Harry Potter. Truly awful. So this is pretty good. It's interesting as well, this is one of the first Lego sets I owned where they actually made the characters, the little minifigures, have skin colour instead of just basically making them all yellow, which I think was a step in the right direction, because it was always going to get awkward the more characters you introduced who just weren't yellow. Okay, so we were in the middle of building the octopus tentacle arms, and my SD card actually said it was running out of space, so I had to stop quickly and free up a bit more space. But we should be good now. So I'm back to looking for the octopus arms. So I'm just going to create a bit of space in front of us here, just so we can actually see what we're doing. So there's one part, there's another part. I'm actually just going to spend some time gathering the different bits to begin with, because I can see they all look the same. And there's quite a lot of them. So there's some more bits. There's another bit. There's another bit. Some more pieces here. Let's see how far we get with this. So there we go. That's 2 octopus arms. See if we can go for 3. That's 3 for 3. Now, let's see. We're missing some parts of the 4th one. We're missing the beginning and the end. Let's have a look. I can see them there. We found them. That was quick, to be honest, by me searching for Lego standards. So we got these 4 pieces, and they all go onto one central spindle piece. So let's find that kind of spindly bit now. There it is. There's the spindle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in business with Doc Ock's arms. Now we just need the little grips that go in the end, and I can see at least 2 of them right now. And we just got to find 2 more. There's one. Oh my goodness, this is actually going pretty well. Nope, I just found it. Wow. This is probably the easiest needle within a haystack that I ever found. There it is, look, Dr. Octopus's arms. And we can put them on the back of Doc Ock himself. There we go. And now we can bend those arms to make him look ultra menacing. Look at that. Pretty cool. It's a very nice minifigure. I do think this is a very good set. Alright. Oh, we didn't finish J. Jonah Jameson's son's hair. There we go. And Peter Parker, he did get finished. Alright, that's all the minifigures. So we actually had, in the instructions, just for context, we had 2 pages dedicated to just building the minifigures. So that's quite a lot of minifigures that you get actually with this set. The next section is going to be building the boat. So the boat begins with these yellow pieces. And it continues with these black pieces. There we go. We found the 2 black pieces. Now we've got to find the parts of the boat. The bit we are looking for is another piece like this black one here. First pass. Yeah, I'll probably find it on the second. On that piece. No, that's quite similar to it. Very strange. See it. Can we go any further without that piece? We can go a little bit further. Right. So we can get a grey piece. Which I also cannot see. There's that grey piece. Really hope you guys like crunching Lego sounds because we are struggling to find these pieces right now. But I guess that's why you're watching this video, right? You wouldn't be watching if you didn't like the sound of someone rifling through Lego. Alright, can we find at least one of these pieces? There's 3 pieces I can find right now. I haven't seen any of them. Starting to get a little bit worried about the boat piece. Because, to be honest, it's quite a distinctive piece. This is definitely going to be in the boat. You know that. that much further without these pieces, but I'm just going to build what I can find from the boat, to be honest. I'm going to keep looking through. As I find bits that look correct, I'm going to just add them in. So there's a piece. That piece goes. That piece can go in the front. Okay, and there's like a thin bit here. We found that. And this piece goes together with this piece. Alright, we're doing good. On some of these bits, we're doing pretty good. I can already put that one in. If I want to, I can put it there. And I need another kind of grate piece to go with it. I'm not seeing it right now. Oh my goodness, I can spy one of the pieces that goes in here. Yes, okay. We're starting to pick up some momentum here. And another one. Oh yes, we are getting somewhere. But it requires that black piece. Getting a little bit worried about that black piece, to be honest. It should be here. This is obviously the front of the boat. Like, where is it? Well, we will find it. Let's keep looking for the other pieces in the meantime. We're looking for another. We're actually basically not even looking. We're just looking at that black piece, which continues to elude me. The steering wheel we found. It was here. So that's in there. It's just that front part piece of the boat that we cannot see anywhere. We've been through it for a few times now. There it is. Oh wow, we found it. We found it, guys. It took so long, but we got there because we didn't give up. And we kept looking for other pieces around it. And eventually it turned up. And I feel pretty satisfied right now about that. That's the thing, Lego gives you a lot of these little victories. It's like doing a puzzle, but the puzzle just gets more and more fun the more you do it. Okay, so there's just one final part of this boat, which we are missing, and that is this bit. Oh yes, we found it. Okay. It's in. Alright, the boat. The boat is done. Now we can put J. Jonah Jameson's son, the astronaut dude, we can put him in the boat. And the boat is finished. What an achievement that is. Look at that boat. pretty pleased about that. Okay, we're going to put the boat off to one side. Next we build a buoy, a life buoy. So let's grab it here. The buoy has two little black parts that constitute it. One of these, and it has a little yellow thing. Should be quite easy to spot, looks like that. And then it has a red top like this. So we found that. And then on the bottom of the buoy goes another white piece, just like this. There's the buoy. What a buoy. Okay. So the next part is to build the catapult, which starts off with a blue base. And I don't mean the big blue base, I mean a small blue base. I'm going to be honest, I do not see that base right now. And it's a pretty big piece for us to not see at this point. So, thinking something is... No. Here it is. It was buried. It was buried the whole time. I almost lost faith there. That was my mistake. Never lose faith. And I shouldn't have lost faith because I dismantled this set just before I built it, so I knew that that piece was in there. But I still had my doubts. I doubted the Lego gods, and they almost smited me for my insolence. Alright. Let's get back on track. Come on, team, we can do this. The catapult has a long brown piece. I'm going to guess that it's this one. And it has a little grey vent bit on it. A little grey vent. Keep your eyes peeled for that grey vent. Alright, we'll keep the grey vent in mind, but in the meantime, we'll build the other parts. So this bit is a bit easier to see, and there's a part there that's quite distinctive, so I'm going to look for it. Here it is, and it goes on at the other end, so just underneath here it goes on. Next, take this, take another piece like it, just like this one, and we now need a grey square piece. There's the vent, you see. Sometimes you stop looking and you find the very piece that you were searching for the entire time. Right, grey vent, come on. I've already got you, so we need to find that piece. But again, maybe if we stopped looking for it, we would find it. So let's put this piece on in the meantime. this section. It is proving elusive. There's a web here that we put on. We can put that on right now. And a little blue spider goes with the web. So let's keep an eye out for a blue spider. And let's keep an eye out for our gray, square, flat, smooth. There it is. We just found it. You see, I just described it slowly enough. And lo and behold, it materialized. So it's just now the blue spider, and there is the blue spider. We found it. Brilliant. Look at it. Okay. There's the blue spider. There's the catapult. Works like that, so that will catapult Spider-Man into action. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to put that off to one side. Okay, so the next stage is we're going to build a fusion reactor. We're going to build the fusion reactor. In order to do that, we need some gray pieces. It looks like they're grey. Grey pieces, which, here we go. There's piece number 1. I found the first of the grey pieces. And again, I'm just creating some space here so that I can actually see what I'm doing. So, we got our first grey piece. Let's try and find another one. There's a second grey piece. We're going to need 4 of them. We need to keep looking. There is our 4th grey piece. Come on now, hard can it be to find the last one? Alright, well, as we're looking, let's keep looking for the other bits too. So, firstly, part goes in here. Then, one with 4 goes on top of it. So, let's make this happen. To start with, I think that'll get the ball rolling. There we go. That's one. I can tell this is going to be involved. And I can also tell this is going to be involved. There's the final grey piece. Once again, we needed to have faith in our grey pieces, in our dark grey pieces. So that goes like that, and then we need 2 more smaller grey pieces to complete the circle. Now the circle is complete, except it's not quite yet. It will be. The circle is still not complete because we need this. Come on, the circle is so close to being complete. Come on, one more piece. Here it is. Now the circle is complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master building Lego circles, and for those of you who might not be aware, that was a Star Wars reference. It was a reference to Episode 4, when Darth Vader and Obi-Wan had their confrontation. However, we are currently talking about Spider-Man, so I won't digress too much into Star Wars territory. We have plenty of Star Wars sets to do in our collection, so we will stick to Spider-Man for the moment. In fact, currently this is my only Spider-Man set that I have, which you could say is a shame. To be honest, my collection of Lego Avengers is very small / non-existent. I'm going to have to do something about that very soon. Other sets that I want include Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings. I did have a Lord of the Rings set somewhere, a very small one involving Frodo. I think he was like cooking some sausages or something, but it has been misplaced. I haven't seen it for quite a while, which is disappointing to say the least. I'm hoping it's going to turn up in my research for these videos as I look back through all my old sets, and there are quite a few of them. I'm hoping I'm going to find that one. But if I don't, there is a chance we will have to ask Father Christmas very nicely if he will give us some Lord of the Rings Lego. So, in case you can't tell, for a while I've been looking for a grey piece, square, that goes on to complete this circle here. So we completed the initial circle, which you might remember, but we did not complete the second outer circle, and it's proving elusive. Proving very elusive indeed. I think I've gone around about 3 times now. What I'm actually going to start doing is cataloguing things. So as we go through, to make it more efficient, I'll start putting similar pieces together. That way we know where they are. I don't have to scroll through them all the time. So I'm going to put that there. Oh, look at that. Earlier we were trying so hard to find this piece. Now we're finding them all over the place. This is the cruel irony of Lego. You can't find your needle in a haystack, and then the haystack turns into needles. So I'm going to put those over there so I know where they are. I'm going to start putting all these over there. In fact, this is probably a good tactic that I should have adopted much earlier. When you can't find the piece you're looking for, start organising the Lego, because in the process of organising it, you're probably going to find what you're looking for. So right now all the brown pieces I'm going to put together, but really I should be putting together all of these grey pieces. The larger grey pieces can all go together. That way you start to get a feel for where everything is. You can start coordinating them a bit, I think. It'll be a lot faster in the long run. Not that we are about speed. We're not trying to complete this in the fastest time. Definitely not. If anything, very happy for this to go on as long as it needs to, as long as it takes trying to do. Maybe you're not trying to sleep, maybe you're just trying to relax. So, if we have to stay together all night to do that, we will. But, in the interest of progressing the build, which we do like to do sometimes on this channel, we will be starting to catalogue these pieces. So everything like that's going to go there. Oops, just knocked over my stack. Oh, come on, this grey piece. Really starting to drive me mad. Well, not drive me mad, because everyone knows the harder you look for something, the harder it becomes to find when it comes to Lego. So, as I say, what we're doing is just cataloguing, just putting similar pieces together so that later in the build everything speeds up. All the time that we are losing now, I say losing, all the time that we're using now is going to be saved later on by this process of cataloguing. And to be honest, it's just the same as doing the build, because now I have a more concrete objective in mind. It's still making it quite mentally satisfying and therapeutic to work through this. So, let's see what's going on here. I can go there, I can go there. All these pieces down here. All these pieces down here. I wonder if there are any of you who have already seen the grey piece I'm looking for. But I haven't seen it yet, and so maybe you're screaming at the screen, saying it's right there, you fool, just take it and move on with the fusion reactor. But sadly for you, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to keep going with this exercise until we find it. The same thing. It's just not the same thing. All the windows, start taking those. All the windows can go together. They're going to go over here, probably off the screen. Yep. More windows all together over here. Okay. And there's the grey piece. You see, you do enough cataloguing when you can't find something, eventually the piece you are seeking will turn up. Now I'm going to turn the page. And now we're starting to look for yellow pieces. So, 1, 2, we found 3 of them, and surprise, surprise, the last one we actually found. For a minute I thought we weren't going to find it. Next we go on to the yellow grates. I can see the nice thing about doing yellow pieces is it's so clear where they are, because they stand out massively in comparison to the rest of the set. So yellows I can do all day long. Well, unless they are surrounded by other yellows, that is. Nice. So we are starting to now move into the territory of putting pieces on. I wonder if, yep. That's good. And we need to find 2 more. We need to find 2 more. Come on, come on. There's 1. And we cannot find the final one. That's okay, because we'll just start sorting the black pieces until we find it. So, let's start putting these bits together. Start putting these bits together. Actually, they can go together there. That can come out of there. Got some black bits over there. Eventually we'll find the piece that we're looking for, but not before we have finished our cataloguing of these black pieces. Everything black starting to go over there, you can see a pattern emerging. I think that's like a little life boy or something. That's quite cute. Let's do with it. Very nice. Alright. We are starting to get somewhere with this black sorting. I don't know if putting all the black pieces together is going to make it harder or not to see the piece that we need, but I think we spotted it. There it is. Okay, there we go. That step is complete. Now we flip the build over and we are going to put these 4 supports on, these 4 struts that hold up the fission reactor. And we have 3 for 3 on the struts so far. We just need the 4th one. Now these struts are pretty distinctively shaped, so they were actually quite easy to find. Okay, next we start some kind of motor thing. So we're looking for little grey cog pieces, it looks like. Little grey cogs. There's going to be some sort of contraption going on here. There's 1 cog. We need to find more cogs. Problem is we didn't colour code our greys very well, did we? There's grey pieces everywhere. The cog is inevitably going to be difficult to find, so we just begin cataloguing again. I'll make a bit of a grey section over here. Everything grey goes through this side. This is in the build. It actually quite cool Lego do like a scale thing. This piece will be included in this, and it is perfectly the same size as it is in the instructions, which pretty cool. 1-to-1 scale. Right, what's the piece we're looking for again? Oh yeah, the cogs. The cogs. Keep a lookout for the cogs. All the greys are going over there. Still not seeing the cog just yet, but by Jove, we will find it. There it is, there's the cog, see? I'm loving this new technique of sorting when you cannot find something because it eventually turns it up. Alright, this cog is going in. Have I put the cogs in the wrong way around? It looks like I probably have. Let's turn the cogs the other way around. And lo and behold, they fit perfectly and they even click into third cog though. The cog saga is not over. We're still looking for a third cog. This bit we know we need, but these pieces we do not know if we need them. Getting to the point where all of the grey pieces are over here. However, the cog has not shown itself just yet. It is required to progress. So, we will continue to search for it. They're all going together. To be honest, I think this sorting actually gives a lot of good ASMR in and of itself. The sorting is almost as good as the building. Gotta figure out where I'm going to put these blues. Going to put them over by these characters here. So we're getting into territory of the brown, which sounds like a euphemism, but I assure you that it's not. There's the little spider thing, the spider web, which we're going to be enjoying later on. That's going to be really good. Longer grey pieces up here, blacks here, yellows are going to go over here. Just think of the efficiency that we'll be able to progress once all of this sorting is done. So purples, they can go like here, maybe. Little tiny grey pieces going to go with the greys. The browns, there are a lot of browns, I'm going to be honest. There are so many browns. A lot of windows too. The browns are becoming the most common piece I'm picking up right now. Even more browns. There's so much brown in this set. See-through piece. That's going to be really hard to see later. Oof, I need to put it somewhere where I can see it. What's it going to stand out on? The trouble is it's see-through, so wherever you put it, you can see it. Ah, so the big pieces of it. This little cog is really made itself difficult to find, I will say that. It could be, there it is. There's the cog, you see. We just did enough sorting and eventually it turned up. It really is a winning strategy. So the next part is, finally we can move on to this part, which is putting the little spindle through, and we can work that straight onto there. Next we need a black piece, and guess what? We know where all the black pieces are. We know exactly where they are, so it should be quite straightforward to find the piece we need. There we go. Alright. That piece is going on there. And we need a little grey piece like that to kind of brace this, I guess, is what it's for. I don't actually know. It's going to be something to do with the spinning aspect of it. Right, and then this goes somehow into here. Maybe like that. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Alright, we can move on. Okay, let's keep adding the blacks to the pile of blacks so that we know where they are. Now, the next piece is to get what looks like a black piece of Lego Technic. There it is. And another one of those spindles. So you remember one of the spindles we used to put on Doc Ock's back. The next one, this next one here, we're going to use to insert into this little contraption. I guess we'll put it in this way. Does that work? Oh, it does. Look, it spins it. It's spinning it. Okay. Now that we've built that, we can build the fusion core itself. Alright, so the fusion core starts like this, has a little black bit that goes on top of it, has a see-through bit, which remember we put up there because we were worried that we would not see it, and we were right because it would have been almost impossible to find again. Now we can find this piece here, and we can put on feel like I'm missing something here. Yes, I am. I'm missing a little tiny little black bit to elevate the core just that little bit higher so that it won't conflict with the base they have given us. So we're going to put that on there, and then here we go. We put the flames in. Here we go. This is getting pretty cool now. The flames of the fusion reactor, all purple for some reason. Why they decided it should be purple, I don't know, but they did. There it is, the fusion reactor. They decided it should be purple. In the movie it was very clearly yellow, but we won't talk about that too much any more than we already have. Now the fusion reactor goes on, and it can be spun using the spindle. That's pretty cool design of this set, I have to say. Okay, this is a great set. Like I've built a few Lego sets in my time, and this one just has so many fun details. Alright, next we are going to build the sides of this reactor. So it starts to go like this. I have to do it 4 times. Okay. 1 and then 2. Good thing we catalogued all this stuff, or it would have been very hard to find the pieces. 1 and then 2. And then a black piece goes on, looking like that. Okay, and then you build something else here. So one of these and one of these strange black pieces, and then this goes onto here, and then it goes into there. Alright. And then you put the other side of it on. Interesting. Okay, let's do that a few more times. So, start off one of those, one of these grey pieces, oops, these grey pieces, and then one of these black pieces. Time to get the hang of it now. This goes under here, and then we put the other blue piece on top of it again. There we go. Look at that. 2 done. Only 2 to go. Let's find a couple more pieces. So we're looking for 2 more of these longer black pieces. And strangely, I'm not seeing them in the pile. Ah, there's one and there's the other. I already see it. Look at that. Gave up faith for even a second. And it was not well placed. Or rather, I shouldn't have misplaced my faith. That's what I'm saying. Alright, we're under a very slight time pressure because I can see that my camera is beginning to run out of space again. So I'm going to try and finish these 4 bits off before I have to change it. Change the SD card. We need another grey bit here. Something's not right about what I've done here. I can tell you what it is. It's this. And then alright. That's that piece. We have one more to do. We were building these fusion reactor arms. So we're going to continue with that. We have this piece to go in here. And another black piece to go on top and click in. Next we are looking for yet another black piece. Which I cannot currently see. Looks like this is one part of it. And there's a piece which it's conjoined. Here it is. Okay, I found it. We're going to move those together, and we have to stick another one of these Lego Technic grey pieces in. First of all, we have to find that piece. So let's have a look. It's probably going to be the last one, which, as we know, is usually difficult to find, but I just found it. So there we have that. And it goes on to here like this, it looks like. Yeah, it does. And then you stick one of these little grey pieces into the end of the base. Interesting. And the whole thing is held together just by the one connection. I'm slightly worried. Also wondering why they did it like that. Why is that like that? Is it to stop it from doing it? It must be to stop it. It is to stop it, but I don't think we did that on all the other ones. So we're going to insert those now. On one side, it has a little stopper, grey stopper. We need to find them all. Okay, that's 3 down and there's 1 to go. I can see it there. I'm really glad that we did this color coding exercise earlier. It's come in very handy. Alright, we finally made the 4 pieces of the reactor. Next we have to create the ends. I don't know what you would call these, like the parts that inject the lasers, I guess, is what it's representing. The parts that would shoot the lasers and try to control the reaction. So let's try and get those pieces now. Thankfully these pieces involve yellow parts, and the yellow parts are very easy to locate, as we mentioned earlier. Alright, 2 more of those to make. And we need 2 more of the little... Here we go, here's one of them. And we'll add that onto here, like that. And take this, connect it. There we go. Just one more to do. So I can see one piece of it there. I can see another piece of it there. And finally we need a little dark grey bit. Here it is, here it is. It was hiding almost out of the frame. Now we can join these together. There we go, the 4 pieces. Now they can all be joined onto the arms. There we go. And then the arms will get joined into their respective slots. So, oops, I don't want that to fall out of there. There we go. That's 3 of them. And number 4 is coming. There we go. That was it. Alright. All 4 pieces are there, and you can spin the reactor. Or you should be able to spin it. You can spin it. Connection's not great, I'm going to be honest. But it does spin, you see that. Not sure about the ASMR value of that. Bit of a weird sound. But it does work. And the spindle immediately fell off. That's great. I wonder why that is. Is it because it's too long? Feels like it doesn't like being spun, to be honest. I feel like in the design, it seems weird that they would make it. You see what I'm talking about? It actually sticks out just below the area instead of being a straight line. Like they could have just taken out one of the pieces there. I feel like maybe they did. Let me go back and check. Seems like an odd design. No, I can see the pieces there. Ah, wait, is it a different piece? It is a different piece. Aha, that's why it doesn't work properly, because I used the wrong piece. Alright, so first of all, let's find that correct piece. Where is it? Here it is. This piece should have gone there, but instead I used just a normal bit, so we can fix that quite easily. Here comes the piece. I knew that Lego wouldn't design something so clunky as what I just made. That was definitely my mistake. Look, now it's on there. It spins freely. Great, that's much better. Okay, we've done it. Alright, so we've got our reactor. I'm going to put that out of the frame for now because we're going to move on to the warehouse, which is one of the largest parts for us to build. We're going to need the space. And in fact, the very first part of building the warehouse is actually putting the blue base into the center so we can start to build on it. Now that does necessarily mean it's going to probably make a little bit of noise as we start to build on it, so I'm going to try and avoid, because I thought, to be honest, it got a little bit too loud, that piece. So we're going to try and create room for it and not drop things on it too much if we can avoid it. So here comes that blue base, look, coming in now, and it's in its place. Okay, now the real fun begins, because we're going to start sketching out our warehouse. So, the first one, having to count the dots is going to be hard here. The foundations of the warehouse are a certain number of dots apart, and I have to first count how many they are so that I know how far apart to put each piece. So I'm just going to count them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 dots, so let's count them out together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to count it again because, as they say in carpentry and engineering, measure twice, cut once. I don't want to start building everything and then find that it's all in the wrong place. So I'm going to do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's definitely 12. We can be sure. Okay. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat there. Alright, next. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We put the next one. And we're going to start putting them down again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down again. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And 1, 2, 3, 4 down again. We're going to put that next one. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I probably could have made this easier by just writing down how many pieces apart it should be, but they like to make you pay close attention instead. Really stare at the page. Alright. 1, 2, 3 inside. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That piece goes on. And then down from there it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it straddles the piece that's already there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these pieces are stuck together. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And now this should take us to the bottom of the plate. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. And again, 4 down. Okay, we've now put in the foundations for our warehouse. And we begin by putting in an archway. Oh, I see. It was an archway all along, but because in the instructions it was an aerial view, I assumed it was a normal piece. Okay, we now have an aerial view again. So we have to gather some dark grey pieces. We are struggling to see them, to be honest. I also think the color coding in this particular, I think it's actually, if you've ever built a Lego set before, you probably know that sometimes they depict things as dark grey when they're actually black, and vice versa. So what's happened here is I was looking for a dark grey piece, but actually if you carefully look at what we actually have available, it must necessarily be a black piece. So these bits are going to be dark grey, and let's have a look. These bits are going to be dark grey, and then around them we're going to place our black pieces. For the final black circular piece. Here it is. There we go. And okay, 2 more arches are going to go underneath. And they kind of affix to the position of the original arch. Now we go through and we double up all of the foundation pieces that we've added. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they all get a foundation. Yeah, they all get a double foundation. Oh, that one wasn't put on properly. Uh-oh. Not good. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Here it is. There we go. Alright, there's our double foundation. The rat has randomly been added in this particular... I'm not sure why the rat would be in the sea, to be honest. But for some reason there is a rat in the sea. I guess he's swimming. I would have thought the rat would go inside the warehouse, but hey, who am I to question the Lego gods? And now we're adding, I guess, some more foundation level here. Missing one final, or are we actually? Are we actually missing that? We are, yeah. We're missing a final piece for that one. I mean, look very carefully at what we have. There it is, Alright. This is going to go onto this final strut part here. I'm really feeling grateful for the colour coding that we did earlier on in this video, because it's coming in clutch right now. Alright, on to the next step. Now we start really decking out the base. So I'm going to grab some of the larger pieces in just a moment. Foundation's really coming in. I think that goes there. That's a good sound. We're missing one more little grey piece. There it is, I can see it. Great. Now we put in some, I guess what is to depict rickety planks. It's hard to tell actually from the angle how they are put on. I think they are put on like this. But I could be wrong actually. Maybe they go over my one. I don't know. I'll just put them on like this and see how it goes. Nah, the variance isn't that great. It isn't that great. I think it's more like this. There we go. Now we put the little boys on. And by little boys I mean the little life boy pieces, which look like this, rather than some little boys. But you probably guessed that. That's looking good. Now, get this little bit onto here. And I can see that we add the stairs in to access the front. So I'm going to push this up a little bit so you can see these stairs going on. There we go. And now we add in some more, I guess what is supposed to be the logs which make up the jetty, right? When you think about it, jetty is a really weird word. Like, why do we call that bit of... Is it because of jettisoning? It could be something to do with that, because do you jettison a boat off the jetty? Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know enough about boats and nautical stuff to really make a informed comment on the etymology of the word jetty. Okay. The next step is to add in kind of some foundations to the walls. So these pieces here, and they have bits like this. I think this is where the doors that kind of go backwards and forwards are going to come in. I can already see that taking shape. And we have this yellow bit here. This yellow bit we're going to add. Seems to be perfectly in line with the pillar or the wooden strut of the dock. Alright, now we're getting into proper pillar territory. There we go. 4 of these parts are required that I'm building now to make the edges of the building, the sides of the building. One thing that I've been thinking about is how does this Spider-Man movie, so Spider-Man 2, the classic, compare to the modern Spider-Man movies? So I would say there is a certain nostalgia value to the Peter Parker, Toby Maguire, Toby Maguire Spider-Mans. They are very nostalgic to me. I actually rewatched them a few months ago, and having grown up with them, having bought this set because of them, they do hold a lot of value, but how well do they hold up? It is a little bit cringy, like there's a lot of cringe in there. For some reason they decided to make Toby Maguire's Spider-Man he was a loser, but he was also just a general cringe a lot of the time. They kind of went in the opposite direction for the Andrew Garfield one. They made him a little bit too cool, I think. It was, it didn't feel true to the roots of the character. So I think there is a balance to be struck between them. And that balance came quite nicely in the form of Tom Holland, even if he is a bit too, he's probably too conventionally good looking, I would say, to be Peter Parker. Maybe, I don't know. He was more nerdy, which is good, and his sidekick was a nerd, Ned. So that was fitted quite nicely with the character. But he's quite a handsome devil. He's not Tom Holland, so maybe he's not quite right. I don't know. It's hard to find the balance. I think of the three, I would say if I had to pick one, it would be Tom Holland is my favourite, followed by Toby Maguire, just because of the nostalgia of those movies, followed by Andrew Garfield. I think, a few people would agree with me. But then Andrew Garfield did do a good job, and I thought he did a particularly good job in Spider-Man No Way Home. His cameo appearance alongside Toby Maguire. It was really enjoyable to see the three of them together again. Well, I say together again, they'd never been together before, but it was enjoyable to see them working together. And I'm now getting all this blathering on about the different Spider-Man. I'm getting a little bit distracted from the build. So we're now looking for two kind of these reverse Lego pieces, which I have referred to previously as anti-Lego because it goes upside down. Always made me a little bit uncomfortable. That's what we're looking for here, because we're going to start to support the roof. I think that's what the idea is here. So let's put that on here. There's a lot of use of yellow in random parts of this set, which is a bit odd, especially on the exterior, but okay. And we need another one of these reverse pieces. Here it goes. Alright, I think we're ready to move on to the next stage. Here we go. So I think they now built up this side as well. Yeah, they have. They've done quite a lot of building up on this side in the space of one step. So now we look for this, another one of these reverse pieces. Another reverse piece is required. Do we see it? Yes, we do. But we need another one. Quite a lot of them being involved. Okay, can we see it? Not seeing that piece. Could be in amongst the plant. Come on, where is it? It looks like it might be the last one. As usual, harder to find. In the meantime, let's pick up some other pieces that we can see are needed for certain. We can see that this goes here. We still need that reverse piece. There it is, I see it now. And finally goes the piece in there, the grey piece. Alright, this warehouse is really starting to look like a warehouse, isn't it? So now we build up the front of the warehouse. this one on every single pillar, not just the two I did. So let's look carefully. Can we see those missing square pieces? There's one. And one more is required. There it is. Alright. Nice. I think we're ready to progress. More windows are coming in. This one says 56 on it. And in the next stage it goes in the middle. So first of all we just put in these regular windows, it looks like. Yeah. And they've built up the back a little bit more as well. Man, it's really starting to get quite tall, this part of the structure. There it is. Alright, piece 56. Alright, here it comes. And a really long piece. I've been wondering this entire video when this long piece is going to come into play. Here it is now. It's going in. There we go. Alright. Now we're starting to get bits over the top. We're just starting to finish the top of the structure, which is quite satisfying to see. And okay, we're now looking for like an archway piece that goes onto here. Let me just retilt this to see you can see the full structure. There you go. Must look quite interesting from above. And don't worry, we will be looking closely at the set from all angles at the end of this video, so if you are concerned that you can't see it properly at the moment, you will get a good look at the end. And indeed, if you just want to see the end and see the finished build, you can always skip it to the last 5 minutes where you'll see it. Okay, they're calling out some quite tricky pieces here. I actually appreciate that in the instruction manual there, where you can't see properly the angle. They are overtly stating which piece it needs to be by sort of highlighting it and circling, or not circling it, putting it in a square. Alright, we need one more of those little grey bits. Could it be this piece? No, it's not. It's this one. It goes onto here. And yep, that's all looking good. The problem is this piece. It's really taking shape though. It really is. I think we're safe to move on. There's quite a lot of pieces went on in that stage. I think we can do it. Alright. Now it's becoming more sort of surface so that Spider-Man can actually get a hold on this and probably swing around it. There's another big piece here going on, so this is going to the top of the set. There we go. And now we're getting a couple of grey pieces on the top here. There we go. And again, a yellow vent. Why is there so much yellow being used? It doesn't seem to fit with the colour scheme of the rest of the set, but we're just having random bits of yellow everywhere. Seems like an odd choice. Okay. And the roof is really coming into its final stages, I think. So, what was I saying earlier about the different Spider-Man? Oh yeah. So, it's interesting that obviously Toby Maguire got a full trilogy, but they kind of messed up the last one by making it have too many villains. So it was, and just too many plot lines. It all just got a bit confusing, and it was hard to care about any of the villains because there were so many of them. So you think, okay, well they probably learned from that mistake when they were going to make the Andrew Garfield reboots. And interestingly, before they did these reboots, I think they were actually planning to make a Spider-Man 4 with Toby Maguire. I think they actually wrote a script and everything, but I guess they realised that Spider-Man 3 did so badly commercially that it just wasn't a viable option for them anymore, and it was better to reboot. But it was obviously a challenge to skim over the origin story or do the origin story in a sufficiently different way that it wouldn't be completely boring, and they kind of achieved that with the first Spider-Man movie that they did with Andrew Garfield, but the second one unfortunately fell victim to the exact same problem that Spider-Man 3 had, namely it tried to introduce too many villains, too many plot lines, and it became hard to know who was the main villain. None of the villains were sufficiently developed, and so the audience stopped caring. And I think the other kind of tragedy that befell Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was that suddenly Marvel was able to negotiate a deal with Sony to include the character of Spider-Man in their larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it was kind of clear that doing it with the Andrew Garfield version of the character wasn't going to work, and they wanted to introduce him, I guess, to the other Marvel characters in a different way. Because, the Andrew Garfield universe didn't make reference to any of the other heroes being present in the world, which was problematic, I guess, if you're trying to write a story around them. So they just thought, let's start again, let's get a really, really new young Spider-Man or young looking Spider-Man and go from the beginning, but more or less completely skim over the origin story, which again was a smart thing to do. So that's how we ended up with Tom Holland, who of course immediately comes into contact with Tony Stark. I think he actually gets, his first suit from Tony Stark. It's been a while since I saw that first Tom Holland movie, but I think it was something like that. Alright, so we've made one of the doors, or not the doors, the side of the warehouse, I guess, here, that comes off. So we're gonna put that in there. You can see that it actually spins like that. Alright, now it's time to build another one of those. I just don't know what to call them, doors on the side of the warehouse. We're going to build another one. So we're looking for a piece like this, another piece like this, and one with a hole in it. The hole's obviously that you attach the door. I'm going to keep calling it a door because it's easier to call it a door. Attach the door to the rest of the set. Of course, the most quotable by far of the Spider-Man movies is the Toby Maguire ones. Definitely they've become the most memeable ones because they had a lot of great quotes. And I think there was a resurgence, especially around the time of No Way Home being released. There was a resurgence in the popularity of those movies, and a lot of memes got shared. And there's actually a subreddit dedicated to Raimi memes. So of course Sam Raimi is the director of the original Spider-Man trilogy with Toby Maguire, and so there's a subreddit called Raimi memes, which just features memes related to those movies. It's pretty funny. If you remember those movies, it's worth going to check it out because there's a lot of good content in there. Alright, so it looks like these two doors, which we have now installed, are held together by a single piece. There we go. And you just kind of attach the web here. There we go. Great. Alright, that is the warehouse more or less built. I think the very final piece is the roof of the warehouse, and then we will be done. So we're looking at one more part here. So I'm going to make a bit of room for it. Okay, so we're coming into the final stretch here, where we are just building the roof section of this warehouse. And it's joined together by pieces like this one. So there we go. Now we have to stagger these bits of we first have to add 2 more of these, okay. There we go. Now we have to add these little vents in. I guess they're kind of like all roof tiley bits or whatever they would be. And on the bottom side we place, I'm guessing this is going to come into some sort of mechanism, but we are placing what looks like something that's going to accept like a Lego Technic piece, and then you can move things around with it, I think. Yeah, I know I was right. Here it comes. So create some bionically bits. Just another component of these bionicle parts. I'm calling them bionicle, but they're really Lego Technic pieces, or really just bits of Lego, but they remind me of bionicle. I've done something wrong here. Yep, I've done it wrong. Okay, let's take it apart. I misread the instructions. That was completely my fault, and now I'm trying to get it apart. There we go. Right. This goes on that side. Okay, so there we go. Right, now this can join onto here. Alrighty then, so we're looking at a very long section here. Section. And this goes on the top of that section. Great, and it connects like this. There we go. Now you can see this is kind of like it makes the top of the roof movable. See how that works? It just immediately broke as well. It's not super flexible, probably needs a bit of oil. There we go. Okay, so that works. So they're saying do that and then push it to the top. Is that right? No, push it to the other side. Push it to the top of this side. And put it to one side. Alright, we can do that. I'll just place that there. And then we do the same thing again. And we are getting very, very close to the end of this build. I can almost smell it. I can definitely see it. So we basically just do the same thing again. There we are. And two more. Here are the two more that we're going to add. Going to have one at the top here. And there's our vents. Alright. Again, it sort of needs to be central. Oh, I see. I was thinking, why is there no other piece of Lego Technic stuff getting involved here? But it's because it's all going to be attached to the same piece. However, I can see that we are missing a single black connector, which is a problem. Or are we? Or have we actually overdone it? No, we haven't. We haven't overdone it. So we're just missing that black connector. It's probably just got lost here somewhere amongst all the Lego. But it's okay. Because I can see one in the packet. Remember, there was a packet of spare parts at the beginning of the video. So one of those spare parts is a black connector. Okay, tape on this is not very good. In fact, the tape has been corroded over many years. This was put away probably 15 years ago. So it's no surprise. And it's a nice little ASMR treat to finish this off. We get to use that bag again. So I'm actually glad that we had to get that black piece out. And we just add that last black connector in here. And there we have that. So now we can connect. How do these bits connect? You put them together like that. You put them together. And then you connect these bits. It also feels like we're missing a black piece. Maybe it's going to get used in the next step. Okay, that's one, and that's... Oh, I missed it. Two. That's one, and that's two. It's a little fragile, I have to say. It is a little fragile. Okay. Now we can affix the roof. Again, there's like a random black piece here. I feel like I probably should have put that on somewhere. Yeah, it belongs here. I just didn't put it on. There we go. Alright, we can finally affix the roof. So we'll bring this back in. We'll bring this back in and we'll now affix the roof. This is one of those great pieces of Lego where you can really hear the Lego creak as you force it together. Okay, I'm going to put this in, and you can lift up this side. Yeah. So it's going in. One side feels like it's already gone in, and there goes the other side. Look at that. The roof is now on, and if we want to, we can lift up the roof. Look at that. To see what's going on inside. And probably if we wanted to as well, we could perch Spider-Man on the rafters. You can do the same thing on the other side, looks like too. Yes, you can. You can lift up the roof. Wow. That's a pretty cool design, I have to say. Alright. Great. That's on there. Now we place the fusion reactor inside the pièce de résistance. There it is, look. That's going in there. Pretty hard to place it though when the roof's in. It's going in, it's going in. And the little spindle has fallen off. Let's take care of that. It just falls off every time. Let's put it on the other way maybe. That sorts it. Yeah, putting the spindle on the other way sorts it out. Alright. There we go. And the spindle is in there. The fusion reactor is inside. And finally, we are finished with our Lego set. Brilliant. Alright. We'll take a look at it now from a different angle. Okay everyone, so here we have our completed Spider-Man warehouse Dogox layer Lego set. Let's take a closer look at what we're looking at here. So we have our Mary Jane Watson minifigure, our Peter Parker minifigure. We have the web there for Spidey to hang on. We have this boy here in the sea. We have the rat in the sea, as is his place, as decided by the Lego gods. We have the J. Jonah Jameson minifigure, or rather his son, in his speedboat. I guess he's coming to the rescue. And we have Spider-Man himself here in his Spidey-themed catapult. You could obviously catapult him into action. I'm not going to do that because it won't be very ASMR-y, because it'll make a lot of loud noise hitting the side of the warehouse, but just to let you know that you can do that, I think it's really cool. Alright, then looking at the warehouse itself, we have our Doc Ock minifigure. Look at that. That, in my opinion, is a very nice minifigure. It's a very good likeness for Alfred Molina from the movies. And of course you can have loads of fun bending those arms and putting him into different situations. Now, other cool things about the set is you can lift up the roof, as I mentioned earlier. So you can lift off either one half of it, like that, and have a look inside of the fusion reactor, which of course spins. Or you can lift up the entire roof and just take it off. And then that allows you to have free play inside of there. And the roof's just there, look. finally, if you wanted to simulate the the warehouse falling down, you can undo this bit here, and it kind of breaks apart to simulate the bit when the fusion reactor falls into the sea. So overall, I would say this is a very cool set. It's well worth the money. I'm not sure how much I paid back in the day, or rather how much my parents paid, but I think it's really worth it. It's a great set. If you can get your hands on it, do, because it was a really enjoyable build, quite a long build as you have experienced. The box looks really cool, and it's a great nostalgic set for fans of Spider-Man. Okay everyone, well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy it, if you could leave me a little like, just drop a little like on the video, and potentially subscribe to the channel as well. It would really help to support the channel and keep making these videos for you guys. So